Hello cherry lovers. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be making a 3-part meal, which is a full course meal, and I want you to know that this is simple, quick, and delicious. And I'm almost guaranteeing that it's definitely under 30 minutes. So stay tuned. Okay guys, let's get started. Into this pot I've poured 2 cups of water. I actually put 2 1/4 cups because that way my rice always turns out perfectly fluffy. So the recipe calls for 2 cups. I put 2 1/4. Now I also added 1 cup of rice. Just put that in there. Set it on 7.5. So we're going to get it boiling, and once it gets up to a boil, I will turn it down low and then let that cook for 15 to 20 minutes. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to start with the chicken, getting the skillet heated up. You don't want it too hot, but you want it hot. In this pot right here, we have 8 cups of water, and we have 1 head of cauliflower that we're going to add in there. And you can put in, depending on what your taste is, 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. I use 2 teaspoons, and that's just going to be sitting there. I'm not turning it on yet. Now what we're going to do here, we have boneless, as I said, chicken thighs. Got the skillet heated, and I've already put salt and pepper and garlic on the chicken. And this is going to be honey garlic chicken. And what we're going to do, we're going to let these cook for about 5 minutes on each side. And once they cook, it might take 6 minutes, but 5 minutes on each side is about what it's going to need. And then after it cooks for 5 or 6 minutes, then I'm going to flip them over, and then I'm going to cook them for another 5 or 6 minutes on the other side. And hopefully we'll get this all done and down to approximately about 30 minutes. Now on this back eye here is 2 tablespoons of butter. This is for the cheese sauce. And I have here a cup of milk. We're going to add that. Once this is all melted, we're going to add in the flour and the milk, and we're going to make a nice little cheese sauce for that. But for now, we're going to let this cook for 5 minutes, and then I will be back to finish and show you a little bit more. Okay guys, now the chicken has cooked. Instead of 5 to 6 minutes, this is taking about 7 or 8 minutes. So just base your timing on your chicken depending on how thick it is and how big it is. So what we're going to do next with the chicken, we're going to slide the chicken away from the center, and we're going to add in our garlic. We're going to let that garlic cook just for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just to get it somewhat brown. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn on this pot for the cheese sauce. We have 2 tablespoons of butter in the cheese sauce. We're going to let that get warm. And I have here 2 tablespoons of flour that we're going to add into the butter. For now, we're just going to let that brown. I can smell that garlic. I absolutely love all foods that have garlic in it. I mean, any kind of garlic I love. This is my honey garlic chicken thighs. Boneless chicken thighs. Remember that, guys. This is boneless. Also, with the barbecue sauce, you can use any kind of sauce you want. I know a lot of people like the Baby Ray's. I like Famous Dave's, or you can make your own, whatever you would like. But this is the honey garlic boneless chicken thighs. So we're just trying to let that get a little bit more brown. And while that's getting a little bit more brown, I've turned this pot on. This is the pot for the cauliflower, and I'm bringing it to a boil. Then I'm going to drop the cauliflower in there for 5 or 6 minutes. And as you can also see, the rice is also cooking. It's probably got about, I don't know, maybe 8-10 more minutes to go. Okay, the garlic is doing really, really good. Oh, it smells so good. So good. Just stir that around, and it's getting browner. And what you want to do You don't want your garlic to burn. That's plenty brown. What we're going to do here is just add in, right in there, our barbecue sauce. This is the best boneless chicken thighs in the world. That's my opinion. Okay. Now all you're going to do is stir your barbecue sauce in with the garlic, mix the chicken, flip them over, get your chicken moved around in there. And other than letting this cook for a couple of more minutes, you are basically done with your chicken thighs. So we're just going to let that simmer for maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. I'm going to drop that temperature.
I usually don't say anything, but boy, are these looking good.
Okay. I have one thing we're going to get. Now, the next thing we're going to do, I've got the butter. It's melted. It's heated. We're going to add in the flour. And we're going to make just a paste here. All you do is stir that up. Stir your flour and your butter up. Let that cook for about a minute. Once it gets going and it starts to bubble, as you can see that it's doing, and then we want to slowly add in our milk, a little bit at a time. This is the sauce for our cauliflower. Now as you add that in, you want to stop and let that cook. You want it to just go back to a boil. And we can take a look at this. Stir this around. If you need to flip your chicken, that's fine. Make sure that it's completely covered in your garlic and your barbecue sauce of choice. Now, this water over here for the cauliflower is now boiling. And I'm just going to gently, be careful pouring that in there. Pour the cauliflower into the pot. And remember, we added 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt in there. And you're going to let that boil for about 5 or 6 minutes. It doesn't take much longer than that. I'm going to drop my temperature down now that it's boiling. Okay. And this chicken, it smells so good. Make sure that at this point your chicken, you can reduce the heat now down to very low, to a simmer even, because it's actually all set and ready. We just want to keep it basically warm. Now we can add a little more milk into our cheese sauce. This is going to be cheese sauce. It's the flour and the milk. And let that get thickened back up there. And then you want to add in a little more. So you're probably going to do this in 4, because that's what mine is, just in 4. Because you don't want it to get too watery. You continue to let it thicken once you pour the milk in there. Let it come to another boil. 1 more boil. And then we will pour the rest of that in there. And then we're going to add our cheese. Pretty simple, guys. And yes, it is all under 30 minutes. And this meal is fabulous. Yes, it is. And the rice is almost done. It's getting there. One other thing, some people cover their pots, some people don't. I normally don't cover my rice. You can if you want to. It's okay. I think that it cooks a little bit faster when you cover it. Okay, now we're going to add in the rest of this milk. And we're going to stir that, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds. And now we're going to add in our 4 ounces of cheese. Add that right into your sauce. Stir that up. You can turn your sauce off at this point, because all you need to do at this point is just melt the cheese. So you make sure you turn this off, and whatever little stirring you need to do, just continue to stir it so that the cheese will all melt. And this is a really great sauce to put over top of your cauliflower. Okay. All right, we're going to give that rice about 3 or 4 more minutes, and then I'll be right back to set everything on the table and let you see how delicious it looks. Okay guys, here's the finished product. Take a look. Okay, we have our rice here. And we're going to put the cauliflower on the plate. Nice and tender, not overcooked, not undercooked, because Larry does not like hard vegetables. Okay, and we have our delicious barbecued honey garlic chicken thighs, and now we're going to sprinkle the sauce, and you can see the sauce turned out amazing. Just put a little bit on top of the rice and a little more on top of the roasted or the garlic. Now, do you guys want to see Larry try it out?
Joyce made a fantastic meal. It's quick, it's easy. I watched her do it when I was filming it, and I'm telling you what, it doesn't take long. So you ladies, men, whoever's hungry, it's a good thing to do. So I'm gonna try this. Of course, I love rice. I'm gonna eat the rice first, so. That's good stuff. I'm gonna try some of this broccoli.
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
I got you saying broccoli.
Man, I'm now for the masterpiece, the chicken. Wow, delicious. You can taste everything. The barbecue, the honey, the garlic, which Joyce likes. So if you like it, hit the like and subscribe. And tell Joyce you like this one. This is a whole meal for you guys. All right now, have a good one.